morning, Jackie. So this is being recorded. We are excited that you are here this morning. I'm also going to start sharing my screen with you. And the goal of today is that we are going to be talking about how to create custom pages on your IQ website. So how do you create a page where you can share it on social media or create a Google ad that actually captures that lead information and has information for you. So the first thing I just want to ask really quickly as we begin is how many of you have been in the business for more than 5 years? So if you've been in the business more than 5 years, type I have in the box. And then I know kind of who's been in the business 5 years or less and who has not. Awesome. Good morning, Karen. Perfect. So we've got about half and half on the call today. And I have been in the business. So my name's Kelsey, and I've been in the business since 2012. I've started as in operations. So I ran an office for some time, and then I have recently moved over into the sales side in the last couple of years. So just so you know a little bit about me, we are going to go ahead and jump in so you can see my website right on the front of your screen. And first thing you're going to do when you get to your website, it's going to be your IQ username dot your company's website.com most likely. If you don't know your website, if you're brand new, because I know we have some people in here who are brand new, if you go into your IQ office and you click on your name in the upper right hand corner and go to your profile, you can actually scroll about halfway down and it's going to tell you your website address underneath that website address section. So that's how you can find your website address if you don't know where it is. Once you're on your website, you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom. And there is a section there that says IQ Web Login. And so when I click on that, it's going to ask for your username and password. And that username and password is going to be the same username and password as you use for your IQ office. And you click login. And once you log in, you'll know you're in edit mode here when this black bar appears across the top of the screen. So everybody with me so far? We know how to find our website. We know how to log into our website, and we feel good about that piece. Awesome. So when you're creating advertising and when you're actually creating lead pages, the goal is that you're providing content that your customers can't get somewhere else. So I really hesitate when people say, I want them to register to see the new listings page, because the fact of the matter is clients, customers, looky-loos, they can go to Zillow and they can see the new listings. So if they get to your website and they have to register to see new listings, the chances that they bounce, so they land on your page, see they have to register and bounce off your page to another page, are high. People don't like giving out their information unless they know they're getting something of value. So when you're creating your landing pages, think about that. Think about what you want people to have to get information for, and are you putting enough value in the content for them to see that? A couple pages that are automatically registration pages are your portal. So if you have this portal page, these are pages that are already created for you. And I'm just going to pull this up really quickly so you can see it. And let's see. I clearly did something with my link wrong there. But that is a page that automatically links. Actually, I have a note now to go fix that. The other thing that is automatically a registration page is what is my home worth. So when people put in their address here, they actually start a lead process that says, hey, we need your information before you can see this, before you can see the what's my home worth page. So those are two things that automatically have been created for you. We're actually going to go in and we're going to go up to this pages section, and it's going to pull up all of the pages that your company has created, if they are global, that you can use. And it also gives you the option here to add a new page. And that is what we're going to do. So we're going to go in and we're going to add a new page. Now, there are two types of landing pages that you can create. You can create a static page. So a static page means all these templates at the top, which are 1 through 16, means once you put your information in there, it stays the same until you go in and you manually change it. So if I choose design template number 10 and I maybe have 6 different lenders that I talk about, that information doesn't go in until I actually go back in and I change that. The other type of template that you can create is something called a dynamic page template. And this is information that is automatically pulling from either agent information, listings information, the MLS, or from your class's calendar. If you're an office admin, and I do know we have a couple admins on the call today, so I want to make sure you know you can have it pull from a calendar as well. And what we're going to do first is we're going to create a static template, just so you know how to do that. So I'm going to choose template number 10. We're going to name the template. And this is going to be local lenders. The page title is going to be local lenders helping you to buy your new home. So when you're typing in your description, how many of you know what keywords are? So Jessica does. I'm just going to stop sharing and resharing really quick. Naya does. Awesome. So for those of you that don't know what keywords are one of the ways that search engines identify what is on your page and who to show it to. I just stopped sharing and resharing. Jamie and Lisa, did that help? Let's see if I make it a little smaller. So let's see. For all of you, I'm just going to try and fix this blurry screen issue real quick while we're in here. Better? Perfect. Awesome. So keywords. When you're writing your description, you want to include keywords. And keywords are how search engines identify what's on your page. I like to think of a keyword as what are people putting in the search bar and looking for. So if I'm making a page on local lenders, I'm going to put in that description, helping you buy a home takes a team. Let me help you find the home of your dream in North Idaho or Eastern Washington, and the lender to help you make your financing a breeze. Okay, so I'm just going to put in a little description here. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to decide if this is a page that is required for registration or not. So when you choose that it is required for registration, that's what changes it from a regular page to a lead landing page. So a lead landing page does require registration. And now you have some choices as to what kind of registration you want to use. You can nag, you can offer, or you can force. So nag means that every third time, and you can choose how many times that is, They come to your site, they are asked to register. So I can say, hey, every other time they come to the page or every fourth time they come to the page, I want them to be asked. You can say, hey, I want them to be offered every time they come to the page. Once they register, they don't need to be asked again, but I want them to be offered that. If they don't want to fill it out, they can X out. Or you can force. And force means if they come to my page, if they want to see the information behind it, they have to register for that page. Everybody feel good about what neg, offer, and forced is? Perfect. So the other options that are in there are only with pay-per-click. So if you want this only to be a lead landing page, if someone is clicking through from an advertisement, from something that you're paying for, you can say, hey, I want to force this, but I only want to force it with pay-per-click. If they find this page organically or they're on my website already, I don't want them to have to register. So that's what the pay-per-click option means. And then you're going to choose your lead source. So I'm going to say, hey, this is a agent request for information. If you are an agent, you will want to make sure you choose the lead source that has agent in front of it. That's how it distinguishes from your agent page and the company page. If you are a company, you're going to want to make sure that you choose one of these other lead types that does not have agents in front of it. So I'm going to say agent request for information. That's for your information so that you know what that is when people register. Then you have two other choices, and we're going to come back and add meta tags, and we're going to come back and add to a menu. So at this time, we're going to say, no, not at this time, and click OK. Once we do that, the page is created. I can see here it says kelsey.cbidaho.com, local lenders. I can see that there's information on this page that I can then go in and edit. And now editing this page acts really similarly to editing any other information on your website. So I can click on suggested image. I can upload an image into that space. I can change that size, click OK. It's automatically going to enter that in. Anytime I see this green save button, I'm going to click save. And then I can say, okay, my local lender. So maybe this is Lee Harden with guaranteed rate. Lee Harden with guaranteed rate. I can actually go in. I can then say, okay, here is my information about Lee and his contact and his bio and his website link. And if I want, I can also go in and I can put in a picture. So I can click on this information up here, and I can say, okay, I would like to add an image. Here's the picture that I'd like to add. And I can go in, I can click on the picture, and I can resize it. So you can actually make this truly your own information. So you're putting it all in, you're getting it all set for you. You can also insert a lead form. So if I want to, after this, in just this section, have a separate lead form, I can say, hey, I actually would like to put the standard, a condensed lead form for website contact. It's going to automatically insert it. I can push OK, and I can click save. So that was really fairly quick. What I did is first I edited the image by clicking on this edit button. You can choose from images that you have uploaded, or you can go over to realistic images and choose from stock images. So I could actually go in, I could go down to real estate, I could choose the photo I would like to be inserted. I edited the header by putting the information I would like to display. and then I edited the text. This text box editing works just like editing your profile or editing other text. You can type, you can change the color or the font. You can also make it centered or left or justified. You can actually go in, you can insert hyperlinks, you can insert photos, or you can insert lead forms. Every time you're making changes, you're going to go ahead and click Save. And if you'd like to preview your page, you're going to actually just click Log Out. It's going to log you out of that page. And I can then preview the information. So I can see here's the photos, here's the header, here's what I put in as far as contact information. Okay, I want to go back in and edit. I scroll down to the bottom, I log back in, and I'm right on that page to edit. So does anyone have any questions so far about just editing static information on a page that you've created? This could be lenders, this could be home inspectors, this could be past client reviews. This could be something like neighborhood statistics or your about me. I do want to make sure, I'm assuming that you're all saying, nope, I don't have any questions. Unless you type in that chat box, I do not know if you have questions or not. So if you don't have any questions, please go ahead, type in that chat box, good to go, or makes sense, or no questions. Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Perfect. So so Lisa says, yes, when it is saved, is that the one that always pops up? I don't understand your question, Lisa. Do you mean like if I make a change here, does the save button automatically pop up? Is that what you're asking? So when I click, yep. So if you need to save, that green save button will always pop up. If you see the green save button on anything you're doing, you need to make sure that you're clicking save. If there's no save button up here, you're up to date and you don't need to click the save button. So this is the website that pops up. You will always stay on the same page that you're editing. So this isn't a document. This is an actual, and you were to type in kelsey.cbidaho.com/local-lenders, this page is live. This would be the page that popped up. Whatever you're editing is what you're going to stay on that page. Does that answer your question, Lisa? Perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about hooking it to a menu or to and adding that metadata. So when we created the page and we put in the title and decided if it had registration, I said we'd come back and talk about how to attach it to a menu and how to add metadata. And the reason for that is this: as you're creating a page, it's going to come up and it's going to be written in Latin. This is clearly an unfinished page here. And you don't want it to be hooked to a menu until you're all the way finished with your editing. You don't want it to be something that is showing up in search results or hooked to a menu until you know it's ready for the public to see. So once you've edited it and it's where you want it to be, you can actually add it to a menu by clicking on the menus button at the top of the screen. And then you can say, okay, I'd like to add this to the site menu, and I'm going to click edit. When I do that, I can actually go in and I can say, okay, I want to add it to the for sale menu. So I'm going to click on the edit pencil next to the for sale, and I'm going to click on custom pages, and now I'm going to find my page. So I'm going to scroll until I find the page that says local lenders. And now I'm going to give it a name that someone would click on. And I'm going to add it to the menu, and then I'm going to click Save. When I do that and refresh my screen, I can actually now see that there's a drop down in that for sale menu, and I can actually click through to this page from any page that I'm on. So if I'm on my home page, I can now access that page by going to local lenders. And here's that page that we were editing. So again, we went to menus, we went to the site menu edit, we chose what menu we wanted this to be a sub-menu of, went over to custom pages, we went and we found the page that we created, we named it, and we added it to that menu. Once we did that, we clicked save, and it brought us back to the page that we were on. You also can delete off those menus. So you say, oh, I put it on the local, I put it on my for sale. I also put it on my about me. I only wanted it in one of those two places. You can actually go back into your menus the same way, edit, and you can actually erase it off of those if you would like. And now it's saved. Is everybody okay with how to attach something to a menu? We will do that again when we do an actual dynamic page next. Perfect. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is metadata. How many of you know what metadata is? Okay, some do, some do not. I'm going to give you the consolidated version of what metadata is. How many of you remember a card catalog? Like you remember going to the library and actually going to the card catalog to look something up? Not a computer, like an actual drawers that you pulled out. Cool. I do. I remember what the way those cards smelled. So on those cards in the library, there was more than just the call number. There was also information on the author. There's a little snippet about the book. It was really like a small snapshot of the book. Metadata is similar to that in search engines' mind. So metadata are the quick snapshots of data about your page that search engines are using in combination with when it was updated and what people are saying and your bounce rate. Remember, we talked about bounce rate earlier, how often people come to your page and stay versus come to your page and bounce and go somewhere else. To verify that what your page says it's about is actually what it's about, and you can rank higher in search results. So metadata is something that you need to add to increase your search engine rankings, and it needs to include relevant information to what's on your page so that when people are searching for things and your page shows up, it's the right information that they're searching for. Just like when you go to the card catalog, the information on that card was the correct information to get you to the book that you wanted to check out from the library. So, how do you add this metadata? You're actually going to go up to your page options up here, and you're going to click on meta tags. When you click on the meta tags, it's going to bring up your page details so you can change the title, the description, and the registration. And then you can also add meta tags here by clicking on the add meta tag. And you're going to give that meta tag a name. So you may say North Idaho real estate. And the meta tag value is going to be buying a home in North Idaho. And then you might say financing a home, and you're going to give it the name of finding a loan officer to help you get a mortgage. Again, these are the titles. This is the metadata on the right-hand side. This is the data that you want to think about actually. What are people putting into Google or Bing or Yahoo to find? Once you put that all in, you can click OK. That metadata has been added, and you can always go back into your page options, go up to meta tags, and add additional or remove these if you would like. How does everybody feel so far? We've created a static page, we've attached it to menus, we've added metadata, and we've talked about registration. The next thing that we're going to do is go in and talk about how do you create a listings page. So how do you create a page that is pulling direct from MLS so that's updated all the time? Cool. So again, we're going to go up to the pages section, and we're going to create a new page. I am going to show you quickly before we do that if you would like to delete something. So you can actually go in, and if it's a page that doesn't have a delete, it means that it is a company page. And you cannot delete your company pages, but you can delete pages you've created. You just click on that delete button, you say okay, and it deletes it out of your list. You can go in, we're going to click new page again. And again, those top standard page templates are information that is static. I'm going to actually scroll all the way down, and now I can see these dynamic pages. So I can actually go in and I can say, hey, I want to do an areas template, and I want to click next. Again, same idea. We're going to give the page a name, and we're going to call this vacation home opportunities. And we're going to call this page, we're going to give it the title of looking for an Airbnb or VRBO. And then we're going to add the description. Again, you want to add descriptions that are keyword rich, that says, thinking of buying a VRBO or Airbnb. Here is what you should know. Idaho. And if it's a landing page, it will always be registration required. I like to do only if it's a pay-per-click. So if you're on my website, you're already my client, you don't have to give me your information to see the page. But if I'm paying AdWorks, I'm going to say, yep, it's a forced ad with pay-per-click the first time, and it's a request for information. Again, we're not going to add metadata or menus at this time, and click OK, and it will automatically create that page. Now, something we didn't talk about in the first page is why this comes up in Latin. So any page that you're creating, that text automatically defaults to Latin so that you have to change it. Because if we were to go in and actually type in really nice text in there that said, looking for your nice new home, we have the solution for you, you would never go in and edit it. So that's why that's in there. And so I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to edit the page. I get those little markers that tell me what I can edit. I'm going to add a header image. Again, you can use your own images or you can use images provided by us. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to talk about lifestyle photos, or maybe I want to do real estate photos, and I'm going to say, okay. Here's the keys. Again, that green save button. Anytime I see it, I click save and I stay on the page that I'm editing. I can edit the text. I can put in information here, information about the city ordinances about having vacation rentals. I can link to the websites with more information. So you just type in this text box, same way we did before. I also can go in and I can say, okay, I want to hyperlink this to www.CoeurD'Alene.com/vacation rentals, so that it's actually taking someone to that page if need be. I can put in photos. I can also put in lead forms. Again, that's that little orange IQ button. So I can say, okay, I want an additional lead form. Or if you want this to be a lead form where maybe you're not putting registration, but there's a lead form on the page, you can do that. I click OK. I click Save. Now I've got that information. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the listing. So I actually can click this pencil here, and I'm going to type in the areas, and I'm going to put in parameters for the listings that I want shown. So I can actually type in, I'm going to say I want them to be in Kootenai County. I want them to be only residential. I want them to list by low to high. With a price minimum of $150,000 and a price max of let's say $400,000. I want them to be a grid list, and I can say okay. Now what it's going to do is it's going to actually reach out to MLS Live. So I can actually see here the listings that it pulls, and I can see that it's got 1,000 pages. Well, that's not going to work for me. So I want to go back in, and I can actually see here where it says number of properties to show, and I can change that. So I can actually say, hey, I want you to show 30 properties per page. And now I've got 36 pages of properties that fit that. As I scroll down through those pages, I can see that there's another section for text. So if you're doing something like an Airbnb or a VRBO site where you're talking about it, I would talk to your broker about what disclosures they want in here. So it may say something like, please check with local regulatory also, HOA and CC&Rs can limit short-term rental opportunities. So you can actually go in and put that information in at the bottom as a disclosure if you'd like. You can click through an additional optional menu here. But now here's the cool thing is I can set it and forget it. So as information and these listings change, they will automatically update on my website. I don't have to go in. I don't have to make sure I'm adding a listing. I don't have to do any of that. I can actually go in, and tomorrow, if this Excelsior Beach Drive or Shores sells, it's going to automatically disappear. I don't have to worry about that. It automatically comes off the site. So again, if we wanted to go up and add meta tags, we could add that metadata here. I can add that. I also can go in and I can go to the menus again. I can edit the site menu. I can add it. If it's a custom page that I've added, I go down, I say, okay, Airbnb. vacation home opportunities. Add, save, refresh. And now I can see it here underneath that for sale title. Are there any questions? We've been going for about 35 minutes. That's a lot of information. I want to make sure you all know how to create a page and you all are feeling really good about it. There is no such thing as a silly question. So then I do want to make sure you know this. What if you don't connect it to a page? What if you don't want it to be something that someone can find by just browsing on your website? You only want it to be something that you can use as a landing page. Can you do that? The answer is yes. And how you do that is first I'm going to go in, I'm going to take it off the menu. So I'm just going to remove it from this menu item. And I can see this information here. So this page is live. I'm going to put it in this tab so that if you want to go and look at it, you can see this is a live page. What I would do is I would actually say the easiest way to do this is to add a bookmark. So if you're using Google Chrome, you can actually click this star in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to create a folder. So I can actually say new folder. I want it to be in my bookmarks bar, new folder, and I'm going to call it lead landing pages. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to save this. I'm going to call this VRBO page. I'm going to save it to that lead landing page. So now I have a quick link. So if I go here, I can actually look underneath my lead landing page folder and I can easily get to that page. Here it is. If I want to post this on social media, I would just hit control. What I did there is I hit control C. I would go to my social media and I could easily paste that link here and share it. Once I click a space, it's actually going to reach out. It's going to add a preview. Here it is. It will link through. There's also a website. I don't know if you all know about it. It's called Bitly. And you can actually go and to Bitly and you can say, hey, I want to, I think I already have an account. I want this really long website address to be shorter. So I'm here. I say, okay, I want to create a link. I'm just going to copy and paste it, create it. And now it gives me this really tiny link. There it is. I'm going to copy it. Again, if I go up here and I paste that link, it's just going to redirect me to my page. That works really great if you're doing something that's like a postcard and you need a shorter link than what you created. So that website's called Bitly. It makes your link shorter. You just have to copy and paste your link to share it on social media. To bookmark it, you click the blue star in Google Chrome to add it. And if there are no other questions, I don't have any other information for you. The challenge for you now is to get out your calendars and look at what your schedule looks like this week and identify the day and the time of day that you are actually going to go in and use the information that we've spent the last 40 minutes going through so that you can create some dynamic lead landing pages to help you in your business. And once you've identified that day and time, if you can type it in the chat box, that would be fabulous. So Karen, Andrew, Anna, Andrew, April, when are you going to go in and work on your actual landing pages? You're welcome, Lisa. You're very welcome, everyone. I hope you have a super successful day. If you don't put it on your calendar, you won't go in and create these landing pages. Half of the battle is getting to class. The other half is applying the information. Yeah, no problem, Jessica. I hope you all have a wonderful